everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour podcast. I am your host, MrsKevOnStage, and I am joined by my husband and co-host,
the KevOnStage.
And we have a very special guest with us here today. I am so excited to have you join us. I've been following your Instagram page for a long time, and just your journey in general, and that is the one and only Dr. Rachael.
Dr. Rachael.
Give it up in our studio audience.
Clap. Dr. Rachael.
I'm super excited too, by the way.
Yay!
Girl time.
So super excited. So in case you are unaware of Dr. Rachael, we will allow her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Gosh, you are putting me on the stage with this one. So, yep, I'm Dr. Rachael Ross, family medicine physician and clinical sexologist and founder of the Dr.Rachael Institute.
Yes.
And I am super duper excited to be here. I'm kind of fanned out. I was taking pictures of the studio.
Were you?
Yes.
Don't come over here and rob us.
I was like,
I'll put it on the ground. You ain't got to sneak it.
all right. Very excited.
So what is a clinical sexologist? Because that means you have actual training.
Yes.
Okay.
I have actual training, and I have actual training, and I actually train people too.
Yeah, that's what I was
In
going to say.
sexology?
Yes.
That's something that people can be trained in?
Yes.
At the Dr.Rachael Institute.
Yes. And so what we
Nice.
do is we help individuals or couples who are, at a point where maybe they're struggling with certain things with sex or relationships and just having trouble meeting each other in those moments where they should be meeting each other.
Got it.
So, so it's great. So
Nice.
sexology is the study of sex and everything that goes along with it. The Dr.Rachael Institute, my thing is we keep families together. So, you can go somewhere else if that's not really your goal, but the main underdriving force, that's why we learn about relationships, and we learn about sex, and we learn about nutrition, and we learn about all the things that you really need to keep your unit tight. So,
Nice.
So it's like a 360, because you said nutrition. I wouldn't have expected
Or
you to say
69.
Yeah.
Hey-o. Big fan.
This is going to be one of those.
You didn't tell me what she was a doctor in. I was like, sexology. Excellent.
We're doing the OBGYNs next month in October.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay.
So yes, it's 360, 369. So yes, because being a family medicine physician, it's really hard for me to separate what we know, that the mind and the body and all of it is so connected that if your body isn't running right, if you're not eating, you're not moving, all these things, then it makes sense that your sex drive would follow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That.
That's really interesting to me because I often don't even think that and I do recognize that there's definitely like a mind and body relation, especially when it comes to sex, but I wouldn't think about it in terms of like your diet and all of that. So that's like really interesting to me, and maybe a tidbit people just got, that maybe you don't even realize that you could be sluggish or tired or whatever, and it's impacting more than just like your normal day to day, but it extends into like your bedroom and how you feel about that as well.
Oh yes, absolutely. Because if you really think about it, we put a lot of energy into, we pass about like 5 or 6 gas stations, and like I put that gas in my car, but we're not as selective about maybe what we're going to eat.
No.
But what we know
I
for a
eat food
fact,
at a gas station.
you eat at the gas.
Yes.
I was just looking at some
hate
taquitos the other day at a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven,
and I was
wings, AM, PM burgers and hot dogs. I'm all
Kevin was
there.
literally the first person I ever met that ate food at a gas station. I remember when we first started dating, and I was like,
when I
"There's
was in
something
college,
wrong with you."
That's all I survived. You can get so much stuff for $5 there. You get 2 cheeseburgers for like $4.
They're so
That's all I
dry.
had.
The patties look.
Them sweaty hot dogs, sweaty burgers with the
You
little
eat them,
stand.
Joshua?
I mean, in college, I had no choice.
College, you just got to get through any way you can.
You gotta fast.
No.
If your
Let
option,
me be clear. I like the way they taste.
yes,
It
because
wasn't
he's
just
36
like,
now and gets
Yeah.
them today.
No,
Those
I don't do
wieners
that much.
twirl around all day
Yes.
that you see, you wonder, does that thing ever stop?
The-
they taste good.
The big bite.
They don't, Dr. Rachael. They don't.
Doughboy bought a whole pizza from 7-Eleven. Let me get in on that, man.
I love you tried it. You
Yeah, I
said, well, I
did.
love you. I'm going to
She's
try this.
uppity.
You said-
She's uppity.
Me?
I got everything out of the mud. You feel me? I love me a sweaty burger.
I very much
That thing
not
was
like
made
to
at
be a part of this
7:13 in
narrative
AM that
that
you're
you are
eating at.
perpetuating.
What?
I very much like to be removed from this narrative.
I love I love it. Well, those sweaty hot dogs, those hamburgers, and those things like that, they can, cause some changes that, that we try to educate people on. Because it's one thing if you don't know, but it's another thing when you know and then you make choices.
Yeah, so because people be asking their wife to swallow and their diet is all Hennessy and Newports. You're like,
yes,
you taste like battery acid.
How dare you?
Don't. This tastes like Alka-Seltzer. I'm not finna do that.
How dare you?
You gotta have a healthy diet.
I'm glad you say that, because a lot of times people will come in with these allergic reactions. They're like, it only happens after sex, and you'll start talking to them, and that'll be the thing, swallowing or even finishing inside of someone. If that's your diet, and if you say you're even allergic to garlic or whatever, someone's eating a lot of garlic, that actually is coming out in all the fluids. And
really?
Yeah. So you
that
kind of
makes
have
so
to
much sense, and you
got
don't think about that.
Coochie now.
Yes.
You got a what?
Garlic infused coochie now.
It's very fragrant.
Like, well, you been eating garlic? I have. Yeah. Now my coochie stinks. I didn't know. Okay. You know what's crazy about that? I've been taking some medicine. And like even some medicine, like your pee will smell like medicine. So true. So it makes sense that that other foods can have that reaction to your body as well. I never really thought about it until you said it. Well, except people like, drink pineapple juice, it'll be sweet.
Yeah,
I like pineapple juice anyway. Outside of that, but
you are what you eat, and you do taste like and smell like
gas station food. Then it is so convenient. Let me get 20 on 6. And 2 of them burgers.
Okay, let's move on, because we're gonna stay here forever. Kev, you're too much.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna go into the that or this or that question. Right. That are listener submitted questions, just kind of fun little segment that we have on the podcast. If you're interested in submitting one, you can send them to hello@thelovehour.com, or if you just have a regular question that you would like for us to answer or pose on the podcast, you can submit that also to hello@thelovehour.com. And just as a side note, OBGYNs are coming in the month of October, so if you have your personal,
and you'll be coming in the month of November. Heyo.
If you have your personal woman type questions, they will be my For Women Only episodes coming in the month of October. Feel free to send those as well.
Am I off in October?
Yeah, only 4, not the whole month though, because I wasn't able to get 4, but probably 2 or 3 weeks. It'll just be me and the OB.
Oh man, I'm going out of town.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Hello, love you guys, love the show. We're friends, period. That's funny. Okay, so here goes. Would you rather stay the age of 30 for the rest of your life or live forever? These are the rules. If you choose 30, you only live for 5 more years. You will be in fantastic health, shape, and be able to amass incredible riches. If you live forever, your health will decline every year as if you were 10 years older. So 35 will feel like 45, 36 will feel like 56, and so on. Ooh, child.
Oh,
I thought she was going to say 46, but she said 56. There will be
and you live forever?
There will be nothing you can do to reverse this effect. No medicine, treatment, or nothing. You can still amass great wealth, but none of it can fix your health.
You can go ahead, Dr. Rachel.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. I got a 3-year-old. If I'm dead in 5 years, I mean, she's only 8.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be at that wedding and
but
all that.
But you can be rich.
Yeah,
but you can be rich either way.
We can be rich in love and energy and activities and not necessarily.
Range Rovers.
There we go.
Range Rovers.
So yeah, I'm gonna pick to just age and stay around
forever. Though,
well,
Dr. Rachel,
you might have to kill yourself.
You can't. You're gonna be 688. And live like you're 698 and your daughter gonna be dead or son.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm just gonna embrace it. Maybe if I live forever, I can have babies forever. So that when those babies
But
get
when you
older,
go to parent teacher conference and you're 700,
don't try to convince her
like,
answer wrong.
My mom is 700. Like, yo, can you not bring your mom around? She's freaking the kids out.
Do you look 700?
Yeah.
Is that part of it? Well,
go and do it. You look
then
good. Go, kid.
I will live for 5 more years.
I knew that was going to be his answer.
I'm not trying to be old and raggedy.
I see.
Like, let me go, fam. I don't want to be super old and gross.
I knew that was going to be his
answer. So you're going to do it up for 5 years.
Bro,
give him 5 fantastic years and he's out of here.
In Ibiza, Barcelona, Madrid.
Ibiza?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I love it.
I ain't rich enough. But I would not want to be like 168. Like, yuck.
What do you pick?
Because when robots are just going to take over the world anyway, like my whole thing is, you know how hot Earth is going to be in 60 years? We are destroying the planet. My whole thing right now is be like, bro, that's somebody else's problem. Now I gotta live through that.
Yeah.
I still use plastic straws. I don't care what you environmentalists say. I don't like the taste of wet paper in my mouth.
Oh, they're the worst.
Take it up on your own, turtle. I don't really care how sea turtles feel about it either.
So I
don't really care about sea turtles, except the one in Finding Nemo. He was funny.
Do you need to lay down on the couch? You are venting.
I am. I don't like paper straws.
I don't need it. That's okay. That's a random rant, but it's facts.
Some people carry around a nice stainless steel straw.
That's
Really?
I would do that.
On their person?
Yeah. They keep it with them.
It's a great alternative because paper straw sucks.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to live forever. And if I'm going to live forever, I need to be in shape because that's what's important to long, healthy lives is being actually healthy. So where can you use to do that? You can use OPENFIT. Summer is almost gone, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on your beach body. Beach bodies are a thing you can have year round. Summer, fall, spring, winter. I think I did that out of order, but you get the idea.
You got all 4 of them.
But I got all 4. OPENFIT takes the complexity out of losing weight and getting fit. It is a brand new, super simple streaming service that allows you to work out from the comfort of your living room in as little as 10 minutes a day. And I'm going to tell you something, 10 minutes, and they call it like their 600-second workouts. That seems so attainable. That seems easy. It's convenient. And when you are busy on the go, and honestly, sometimes just in your mind, you need all the reasons and excuses to work out.
Yep.
It's so easy to excuse yourself from working out.
Bingo.
So if you want to talk about, I got to leave the house, it's in your house. You got to travel somewhere. You got to go outside. It's cold. It's wet. You could do it in your house. All you got to do is get up. Once you get up, you don't need a whole bunch of time. You need 600 seconds. That's it. That's easy. We can commit to that.
You can do that. No problem.
Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
OPENFIT has changed the way we work out. If you text the code LOVE to 303030, you can join us on a fitness journey personalized just for you. Right now, during the OPENFIT 30-day challenge, our listeners get a special extended 30-day free trial membership to OPENFIT when you text the word LOVE, that's LOVE, to 303030. You will get full access to OPENFIT, all the workout and nutrition information, totally free. Again, just text LOVE, that's LOVE, to 303030. Standard message and data rates apply. Okay, so now what we want to do is get straight into the topic. And the topic today is how to calm the noise in your brain to facilitate sexual intimacy. And I will explain what I mean. I think everyone, whether you're a man or woman, can or have at times been victim of the noise, the construction site, the inner dialogue that you have with yourself pre, during, or post-sex. That can be a hint, but more specifically, well, pre and during specifically, that can hinder that intimacy with your partner. And I think what happens, or some of the things that like concerns us when that happens, could be like, honestly, just like your to-do list. Like when you start thinking about all the things that you need to do, whether that's laundry, whether that's cooking, whether it's an email you need to send at work, whether it's going to the grocery store, like all of these things get in your mind. And your mind, we were actually just having this conversation. Now I don't remember if we had it during our pre-production meeting or if we just had it during the this or that section, but how interconnected our mind and our bodies are.
Yeah.
And so without, I actually found this quote, and it said, you can give your thoughts on this. It said that arousal is not a reflex. It really requires the brain and the body to be communicating with one another.
I love that. And I think that's true in a lot of situations, and in other ones it's not, because sometimes we do have a reflex, and ladies don't get to experience it as much as gentlemen do, but a reflex or a cool breeze or something just happening, and then all of a sudden, there's a response to it.
So that'd be like that too.
Yes. But in terms of the mind and the body kind of being connected, think of it like this: like for men, from the minute they get started till they finish. It's a much shorter time than for the average lady.
I ain't gonna be with you long, man. Here for a good time, not a long time. Huh?
So it's perfect if you have a little attention deficit, like if you can't pay attention and be in the moment for a little while. But for ladies where the experience needs to last a little longer, because the way our response cycle goes is it has to build, then it can plateau, and it has to build. And if something derails it, it's got to go all the way back down and then build back up to where it was before. And so since the cycle
was a good little, I followed that.
That plateau is also interesting because you think it just builds progressively at the same time, but knowing that it can plateau
and then rebuild
is good to know.
Yes,
I like that.
And knowing that it can plateau and it can plummet. And then you got to get back up to where that plateau was and then keep going.
Yeah, it's a Donnie McClurkin song.
Which one?
We fall down, we
get back up. That's right.
Get back up again. Whoa.
No, absolutely. And so what happens then is being mindful and staying in the moment actually becomes part of the experience. And what you find, though, is that women and gentlemen who are able to be mindful in their day-to-day activities, that actually carries over into intimacy. And so one of the main exercises that we try to teach and advocate for is just starting with just mindfulness where you're at. So like being in the shower and just, taking a moment to take in the sounds, the scent of the water, the feel that the mist as it goes in when you're breathing it. And so as you start to kind of connect with the experience and to figure out how to be in the now, whether it's while you're driving to work in the morning, that type of mindfulness is what starts to carry over when you're in an intimate situation. But if you're antsy and can't sit still in the car, you're doing all these different things. You're in the shower, you don't enjoy that either. You're going for a walk, you walk the dog, but you didn't notice any roses. You didn't do any of that. Then that carries over into your sexual experience. And so what we find are those antsier people who can't really pay attention and who are doing a bunch of stuff that really does start to play out sexually. And so even if your partner gives you 40 minutes down there or whatever it is, that oftentimes you can't stay present enough to finish.
Yes.
Because, your mind is racing. So it really, it's kind of like anything else. The practice has to start outside of the sexual situation
outside
first.
Of the bedroom.
To kind of carry back over into the bedroom.
So you basically have to do sex training in regular life.
Yes.
And being
mindfulness
present.
Training.
Yes.
Mindfulness training in the hopes of great sex.
Yes. And I think we underestimate the power of training and preparation. And so, like, for instance, while we're driving around, ladies should do their Kegel exercises, gentlemen should do their Kegel exercises.
It's pronounced Kegel?
Yeah.
I thought it was
I've been
Kegel.
saying Kegel.
I've been saying Kegel.
Wait, hold up.
What
Men
part
can
of the
do
country
Kegels?
Oh, yes.
For
and
what?
you should.
What?
Wait, but what's the benefit for men?
So for men, longevity.
I don't want it.
Better volume, more of it, all of that.
More of it?
Yeah. So definitely.
I want it to come out like the Kamehameha.
Yes.
From Goku.
That's right. That's right.
Kamehameha. I want Melissa to be like, whoa.
I hate everything
it's
about
too
you right
much. Dad, what's wrong? Nothing, child. I've been doing Kegels. I didn't know my own strength. Then Melissa's gonna have the little Dragon Ball Z power readers. He must have been training. His power levels are off the scale.
I'm sorry, Dr. Rachel. I'm sorry. He shows out in front of company every
people
time.
be on here.
He goes
I am
wild
my
every
full
time.
form. I can be who I've always been. I've never heard that ever.
Me
Never,
either.
ever.
And for prostate health too. So there's so many benefits. Bladder health, prostate health.
How do you do that?
Okay, so
Everybody
you
do it. Hold
isolate
on.
the muscle.
I gotta be
Right.
Hold on,
mindful.
Everybody
this is part of mindfulness.
together.
Hold on.
Is it in my urethra?
Yes. No. So it's pretend you are in the bathroom and you're standing there and you're about to go. Someone else walks in and you've decided that you want to hold it real quick, right?
Uh-huh.
So that same muscle system that you're using to stop your stream right there before it goes, that's the muscle you want to contract and hold
So
down.
should you feel it in the helmet or at the base?
You should feel it at the base.
Okay.
You should feel it at the base. You should almost
I feel
feel
it.
like you're winking in the back a little.
I ain't winking in my
That
booty.
was good. Winking in the back.
Yes.
Winking in your
Did you
butt.
do it?
Yes.
I
Did
did
you
it.
do it, Joshua?
Okay.
Do your Kegels, Joshua, for your prostrate.
Now this is a good
Prostate.
exercise to see how erectile function and how orgasmic function is going to to be is if you isolate the muscle and hold it. And
how many sets should I do? How many reps?
Well, okay, so you want to hold it as long as you can for a count of 10.
Oh, okay.
And do it, and then release it. I feel like I can't do it and release it. So yeah,
it's a good rep.
And so make sure you're breathing during it too. Hold it.
Greg, add this to our training.
Yeah.
We need to do 3 reps on the bench and then 30 Kegels.
But what you'll find though, for women and men sexually who practice Kegels, within 2 weeks, if you do these exercises regularly,
I'm all over
you
it.
guys are going to notice a difference. And then you'll notice a difference too in the way that you experience your orgasmic set. You'll have more control over how quickly you want it to come, how more you want to savor it, and you'll have more of the snatch and grab. You know, like you'll be able to control that a little more.
We got to bring Dr. Rachael back. I'm a big fan of snatch and grab. It has a certain effect on the penis. The penis is like, hey, get off me, but also get on me. I like this. Grab me and let me go. Grab me and let me go. Grab me. If you can time it right. Woo!
That's what I'm gonna say. It's perfect for
it's
the
like a little
situation.
penis hug.
I gotta go get the kids. Let's just do this real quick. Snatch and grab. So as you practice and as we start doing this in traffic and everything.
But what if she gets too strong and the grab is too strong? I'll be like, get off! You won't let me go. It's Velcro. I want to get out of here now. Let me out. Don't get too strong, Liz.
Next time I see her, she'll have new diamonds.
Everything. I'm getting blinged out.
I keep buying her rings.
I'm getting blinged
She's doing
out.
something
She'll
to
be
me.
like, Dr. Rachael, I got this new
Change my
Range
whole life.
Rover.
Look at my car.
I got a diamond encrusted Mercedes. What is it? I've gone poor. I've been on tour for 6 years. I gotta find a way to pay for this.
That's so funny.
Wow.
This is really good. I thought that was really good.
in.
I think one of the things that's so kind of important that you're saying about this mindfulness is I think about how busy we are.
Yeah.
Like as Americans, I'll just give this example really quickly. Kevin and I went to Europe last October, and we were in Italy.
I remember this well.
Yes.
Venice, specifically.
Yes. So you know
that's a little slower than even other parts of Italy.
If you've never gone, it's very slow. The people are very. There's no urgency for anything at all. Like they are just chilling. Okay, so we're on vacation. We're in Venice. We don't know nobody. We ain't got nothing to do. No kids. Just me and him.
Forget them kids. They're at Olive Garden. That's as far as close to Italy as they'll get.
For real though.
You grab more bread in Zuppa Toscana, boy. You ain't got no trip.
Zuppa Toscana is bomb.
That's all as close as you go get. When we're here, we're family. When we're in Italy, we ain't got no
you
kids.
gave their whole thing. Okay, so we're in the restaurant and we're finished eating and Kevin waves the waiter down and he's like, "Can we get our check, please?" And the guy is like, "Why are you in a rush?
Oh,
where are you going?"
Yeah.
And I literally was like, he's right.
Yeah.
We are on vacation. We have nothing on our to-do list. There is no meeting scheduled after this. Why are we rushing him to give us our check? We don't have anything to do. Yes, you know, it's just
we had no, and we didn't even realize we were rushing. It didn't feel like we were rushing.
Yes.
He was like, "You guys just got here." He also set the table really slow.
Yes,
they're not in a rush at all, and you feel like, bro, I'm hungry. Food.
And I think
leave.
that is the enemy to mindfulness, because mindfulness is really slowing down.
Yes. And experiencing whatever is happening at that moment, experiencing it and letting it kind of pass through you, and acknowledging it and letting it pass. So like even when you're in the sexual situation, it's like, okay, the scent, the smell, we're breathing together. It's really just kind of being as present as you possibly can for those few minutes that you're there, and acknowledging it and enjoying it for what it is, and savoring every touch, every feel, every scent, every giggle, all of that. And what you find is that if you can be more present like that, not only do the experiences have this heightened thing, because, you know, after you've been together with someone for a really long time, you really want to tap into those ways to have these heightened sensory experiences. And being mindful and being present is the first biggest thing to tapping into that.
You know what's funny? I don't know if I told you this, Liz. One time, this is a while ago, maybe even a year ago, I was walking to... I dropped my car off to get washed, and I was walking to get back. I was just trying to sneak some exercise in, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just walk down the street without my phone and just like look around. And it felt like the world was like more clear. Sure. Like I was just like, man, because now we all, but probably me more than most people, I'm always on the internet looking for something to make a video about, checking the trends or whatever. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk down the street, and then the birds were chirping loud. I could feel like the wind blowing, and it was so not surreal. It was so unusual that it was almost uncomfortable.
Sure.
Like I feel like I'm always needing to check an email, check a call, see if the boy, check in on this, do this, call my mom. Like I don't just be like present.
Yeah.
You know, like meditating. I meditated a couple times back in my old company, All Deaf. And it would be so hard to like, the person would be like, all right, clear your mind of any thoughts. And I would be like, so you say, okay, no thoughts, but that is a thought. Is this thinking a thought? Can I, what am I, can I think
And that can be stressful. That'll pull you out of the, trying to force yourself to get into the moment, but like overly actively thinking about trying to get into the moment can take you out of the moment. I don't know if that makes sense, but where you're like, okay,
totally
clear your mind. Clear your mind. Clear your mind.
What
Is my
it,
mind
like a
clear?
broom?
I'm not
Everybody
quite sure if my mind is clear. If I'm thinking about clearing my mind, does that make my mind clear? No, that can't.
That happened to me the entire session.
That's okay. So
they're like, do you guys feel better? I was like, I feel worse. I'm exhausted.
I'm confused.
Mentally. I never even got to clear my mind one time.
what they should have told you to do is focus on your breathing and the sounds of your breathing and the intake, because then that becomes the distraction you need to drown out your voice. So even in a sexual situation, listening to your breathing, focusing on your breathing, making sure you're breathing, hearing the sounds, focusing on the sounds. Really what you have to do to kind of turn those automatic thoughts off is to kind of focus on something that you're doing that's
You
kind
know
of
what?
automatic.
Okay, so I got LASIK I was going to say LASIK training surgery, a couple weeks ago. And she was telling me to relax my eyes because they needed, before they were taking pictures, right? So, and she kept taking the picture, and she's like, you're not relaxing your eyes enough. She's like, relax. I'm like, I'm relaxed. Just telling me I'm relaxed is not, So she's like, okay, do this. Tap your foot 10 times. Just tap your foot. And I was like, okay. And she took the picture, and she was like, perfect. And I was like, what? What happened? She was like, oh, this is a little trick we do. If you teach your mind to do something else, if you focus on something else, you'll end up relaxing.
Hold on, I have an activity I want us to do, but before we go there, and we're going to talk about distractions, food is always a distraction. It's a distraction to all of the things that you want to do, like your weight loss goals. So food is always a distraction to help you make better choices, okay? We want to tell you about GREENCHEF. What is GREENCHEF? GREENCHEF is a USDA certified organic company that makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every kind of lifestyle. As you know, Kevin and I are huge fans of date nights, and date nights can be a great precursor to all the mindfulness activities.
Date nights before late night.
Yeah, Kev, that was cute. So what you can do, husbands especially, if maybe you're not the cooking type, is order yourself up a little GREENCHEF activity and make that your date night in plans for you and your spouse. They are so great because they offer step-by-step instructions, pictures, chef tips. So even if you are not the most keen on cooking, they make this pretty much dummy proof. Yes. Kevin and I recently had the Balanced Living meatloaf with rosemary ketchup meal. I love meatloaf, and any type of sauce on top of it is fantastic. Nice. All the meals are pre-measured, perfectly portioned, mostly prep, and they don't skip out on flavor. That's important. GREENCHEF expert chefs design flavorful recipes for your lifestyle, and they offer something for everyone. Meal plans include keto, paleo, balanced living, and plant powered. So no matter where you are in your journey, they have something for you. Plan your next date night in now with GREENCHEF for a total of $75 off. That's $25 each of your first 3 boxes. Go to greenchef.com/lovehour75. Again, that's greenchef.com/lovehour75.
Nice.
It's always funny when the guests don't know that I respond with the code. They're always like,
Yes. The next one that I want to tell you about, of course, is Bloom. As you guys know, I am a huge proponent of Bloom. I do have acne-prone skin. It is the bane of my existence. Is it bane of my existence? Okay. The bane of my existence. And so I do use Meltdown. It is a powerful, bless you.
Sorry.
I do use Meltdown. It is a powerful blend of natural ingredients that take down pimples overnight. And it does not contain harsh chemicals, no benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, sulfates, or parabens. It's vegan and cruelty-free, and it's pregnancy safe. This is great because I really like my skin to be like glowy and like nice. And sometimes when you use, thank you very much. And sometimes when you use a lot of acne medication, it can dry out your skin and it can strip your skins of those really good natural oils. And this won't do that. Check out Bloom for other safe, sustainable self-care products, including face wash, deodorant, and organic pads and tampons. Right now, our listeners will get 25% off and free shipping when you text HOUR to $79.79. This is a special offer you can't get anywhere else, and you support the Love Hour when you support our sponsors. So text HOUR, that's HOUR, to 797979 to get 25% off Meltdown Blemish Treatment by Bloom. If you don't love it, return it for a full refund, no questions asked. Again, that's HOUR, HOUR, to 797979. Okay, so since we're on this like sensory moment, what I want, can you walk us through like how to to be more present and mindful?
Sure. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Okay.
So if you're listening to this or watching, you can follow along with this. Because I think all of us can could use the practice of like clearing our minds and taking a moment, like literally, because even when you were just talking about allowing the moment, like acknowledge the moment and then allowing it to pass through you, I feel like I would get so anxious because I feel like I need to be moving on to the next thing. So learning to just slow down is like, I feel that's a skill.
That is a skill. And I think part of learning how to slow down it means that you have to acknowledge the fact that if you slow down, nobody's going to die. Nobody, there's going to be no major consequences for it. You're kind of in control of your own life. You guys are really in control of your own life. So you really have no reason.
I don't feel in control, Dr. Rachael.
Yeah, but y'all are. I mean, you guys have figured it out.
The time.
And I think that feeling, especially in LA, you constantly feel like you need to be on the grind and you're always going. And so you feel like, I can't waste time because it feels like a waste. Right. But you really do need those moments.
Yes, you need and you guys deserve those moments. Let me tell you something. You guys are a Black-owned company, right?
Yes.
And we all have stereotypes about Black-owned companies, right? Like my practice, you got to wait an hour before you see the doctor. Like there's always something. But let me tell you something. You guys are like the well-oiled machine. You handle everything on such a professional level. You guys are putting great content out there. You're changing lives. You're inspiring people. Shoot, guys.
We deserve this moment, Les.
You deserve all this time.
Dr. Rachael.
So serious.
We do have a little company. We want to be professional. We had a staff meeting yesterday.
You guys are like
very progressive.
The bomb. So you really have to acknowledge, and so for those of you who are out there, you got to acknowledge it, even the tiniest little victories. You've got to pat yourself on the back for it, and it starts there. Because if you can acknowledge the great stuff that you've put into the universe and that you're out there, then it makes it much easier to relax and understand that you deserve some time to unplug.
Yes.
So first step of kind of unplugging and being present is to kind of close your eyes and just acknowledge your body. Feel your weight in the chair, feel your feet pressing on the floor, and feel your hands on your thighs. Taking a deep breath and let it out. Another deep breath in and let it out. As you let the breath out, acknowledge the fact that your back muscles have relaxed. Acknowledge the fact that your hands, your fingers, that you can feel them and they're starting to become lighter. Acknowledge the fact that you can feel your butt sitting and resting on the chair. As you take deep breaths in and let it out. Focus on the sound of your breathing as you go in and as you go out. Any thoughts that you have that pop in your head, go ahead and acknowledge that they're there and let them go. Deep breath in and deep breath out. as you exhale, those thoughts that are coming in your head, let those go with your breath. Start to feel your abdominal muscles as you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You're still letting those thoughts of the day, your to-do list, come in and out like a breath. And so with this process, you're sitting in, and this is only for 5 minutes. You can either record yourself listening to yourself. You can either record body scans, like if you Google body scan anywhere, it's a matter of kind of reading those things, having your favorite voice listen to it, and kind of just going through these body scans over and over again. We use the body scan particularly for people who have hang-ups with their body, who have hang-ups with sexual tension, because what the body scan allows you to do is, particularly we would go through the exercise, and as you're doing that, you start to acknowledge your genital area as you're breathing. You start to, as you're breathing in and letting it go, you're actually contracting and releasing those same muscles we talked about earlier with the Kegel exercises. What you'll notice as you clench and release, everything starts to feel more relaxed. Clench and release. As you're doing that with the muscles progressively throughout your body, you're becoming more and more relaxed. You could, and this is only for 2 to 5 minutes a day. And what you'll start to notice is it makes it easier for you to experience traffic, for you to experience showers, for you to experience walks in a different way than you have before, just by staying present, taking deep breaths, and letting the thoughts pass out as you breathe out. What do you think?
That was great.
That was great.
How do you feel, Kev?
It feels quieter.
It does feel quieter.
All right.
Okay,
I'm a child though, because when she said "but," I was like, "but." I noticed I could hear much
Me
more
too.
what was outside.
Right?
Like this room became super quiet, and then the passing cars became super loud.
Yeah. And the
I should do that more often. I feel way more relaxed.
I do too.
Me and Melissa talk about this all the time. We just be like tensed up.
Yeah.
You know, she says it more like, "Okay, relax your shoulders, Melissa." And I realize like I'm always just ready to fire up on somebody. You know, like your teeth are gritty and I don't. It's like a resting position.
Sure.
And I don't realize that.
And you don't
that
even
you're doing
realize
it.
that you're doing it.
Yeah, like why am I so tense? You know.
Well, you guys got stuff. You know, you got stuff, and you're doing stuff, and you're constantly, you know, your business requires that you're on the thing that we know, you know, is a distraction.
Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, you guys seem to really be balancing it.
No,
and
we're
if you
not.
just infuse a little bit more of mindfulness into
I love it.
it's going to be a totally different process. And then if we stop eating at 7-Eleven, that's going to help.
I have one last thing that I wanted. This was so good. Like, thank you so much.
Oh,
it took a turn,
cool.
but I honestly think that it was what was needed, because I always say this, we always go straight to like the bedroom, not realizing that a lot of these things you have to do and practice outside of the bedroom to even talk about.
You're
like
a whole. It's like the whole person of you.
Yes.
It's not just like it's not like a light switch you can flick on for your sex. Like, oh, for men it's more like that.
Yeah.
But for women it's definitely not like that. Like, oh, the light's on, let's have the sex.
Sure. Sexuality is more of a holistic, integrative type of thing. It's what we're thinking, it's what we're feeling, it's what we ate, it's whether we argued, it's whether the trash was taken out. It's what, you know, it's all of these things. It's how we feel. Do we feel cute today? Do I need to get my hair done?
That's so true.
You know, my eyebrows done. All of that.
I think about that all the
swirls
time.
into it. I know, I figured you did.
My beard is not as glorious as it could be.
Where's its shine?
So can we talk about the body image thing for just a moment? Like, how as men or women, because you can have body image.
Oh, I definitely have
on
body
both.
image issues.
How do you
Definitely.
I
get
wanna be
out, or
Lizzo.
what are strategies that you can get out of your own head? Because you know what, you just get caught up in that narrative.
You do.
If you're thinking about, is he touching my roll? Is he touching this? Does my booty look good? Does my booty look flat? Is this, you know what I mean? You
Yep,
just
let
get
me leave
caught-
my shirt on,
Yeah,
all of that.
dimples, whatever, stretch mark. Like
Yeah.
there's 101 million things we can talk about. So how can you, or what are strategies to help yourself get like in that moment I don't know if you can like do the breathe. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So I think what that does it starts before, because we have to think about it, that the sexiest thing, like a guy can be 300 pounds, and what will be sexy about the guy is his confidence about it. Mm-hmm. He's going to smack his belly, he's going to walk around, he's just lets it all hang out.
Right.
And what we don't realize as women is it's the exact same thing. That if you are confident with whatever you got, that's the sexy part about it. It's kind of like, Lizzo is sexy as heck. And what makes her so sexy? It's because she's so confident.
So confident.
She's not going to hesitate to grab or smack or
and she took a DNA test.
Kim, I was just about
and it
to
turns
say
out
that.
she's 100%.
I was just about to say that.
That's right. So it has to kind of start there too, with just being confident enough to recognize that whatever you've got that you're working with. I mean, it's kind of like when you go to the beach and you got your bathing suit on and you like take that deep breath. And you're like, I can either hide.
Man, let me tell you
or
what.
I can walk around and
with
just
the t-shirt on and
hang out.
I do not believe in shirted beach stuff. Wherever my body's at,
See,
I'm out
that's
here.
That's confidence.
So
Yeah,
Melissa, she doesn't have that same thought, and it's crazy because we talk about this all the time.
As perfect as your wife is,
nobody feels like, even my boy who's like a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
he even be like, man, I should be bulky a little more. And he's literally like, you can see the striations in his chest muscle.
Sure. And he'll
he's
do
like,
those
man,
push-ups before
yes.
he goes
and
out
I'll be like,
there.
bro, what? You win. You have everything. But it's a personal thing.
It
'Cause there's
is.
people at the beach. I remember I was in Hawaii, me and Melissa, the first time we ever went there. And I was like a little more conscious than usual. And then these people were big, 300, 400, just chilling. I'm like, okay, if he can be, dude's butt crack was out.
Yes.
And he was chilling.
You go to the nudist beach, it's not a whole bunch of sexy, cut up,
let me tell you what.
exercised up people.
On our honeymoon, we didn't know. We I don't know how oblivious you can be this oblivious. We went to San Francisco during Pride Week.
Oh, okay.
And we could not check into our hotel till like 4 o'clock, and it was like 11 o'clock. So we're like, oh, we'll just drop our bags and go walk around. We saw, it was naked central. It was gay flags and old naked, old saggy, flappy.
So true.
The penis was shriveled up.
The inventors of the gay flag were out there.
And everybody was like, the people that you think like on the ESPN, the body issue, like, oh, of course you'd be naked. You're freaking
you're perfect.
finely tuned athletic machine.
Yeah.
It wasn't those people.
Right.
It was accountant bodies,
Yes.
janitor body, just regular. More people look regular than look like the body image that we desire.
Oh,
Right.
definitely.
Like ESPN, the body, and the people in magazines, that is the smallest percentage of people, and also airbrush and Photoshop.
Definitely.
Yes.
More people look like me.
Well, you know what? Where it starts though, where that confidence starts, is you've got to even though you have kids and stuff, close the door, start walking around naked.
Oh.
People say that.
Start really
be
experiencing it.
naked.
Yes, there you go. That's where it starts.
You know, Liz.
Yes,
That's
I
where
do.
it
I don't
starts.
believe in clothing,
Yeah.
and my kids are getting older. Listen. Does the mortgage come to my name? I'll be balls out. Don't come in my room if you don't want to see balls.
The best is when they're like, "What?
What is happening?
That's what you can be one day, son, if you keep drinking your milk and eating your quinoa. I know you don't feel like you could get to this point at this time of your life. They be coming in the room like, Daddy, is this my room or yours?
Hashtag
I ain't in your
goals.
room. Yeah, I'm in my room. I'll be butthole naked.
Thank you, sir.
I like the fan to blow in my butt.
Yeah.
It'd be like, whoo.
But see, that helps build his confidence with it.
does.
So sitting around,
I'm more confident naked than with clothes on.
walking around naked, all of that. And then I always say, get a skinny mirror. You know, like get
What's that?
a mirror, a skinny mirror or a fat mirror. If you want to be thicker, get a mirror that makes you look thicker.
That's what I
If
need.
you want a skinny mirror, get one that makes you look skinny. I got a skinny mirror at the crib, so I leave thinking I look one way, and probably don't. So it's like
Lie to yourself until you believe
it's
it.
an optical illusion, right? So whatever it takes to get you there and to get your confidence where it needs to be, because great sex really starts with confidence, because if if you're like, oh God, I hope he doesn't see that, oh, this is sagging and all of that, that's stripping away at our mindfulness. And so really
stripping away at our mindfulness. Yes,
spending a little energy getting that confidence up outside of the bedroom, then you bring that stuff back in. And it's
what's so weird about this? I don't know if this was taught to me or I just developed this. I thought, me and Melissa talked about this a lot, I always thought it's my responsibility for her sexual experience. Maybe I took it from TV and media. I've got to make you feel this way. And remember, she was saying a couple of weeks ago, she was like, Kevin, I don't want you to own my sexuality. It is my responsibility. And all you're saying is it starts with you, the person first. Before I can be intimate with you, I really got to be intimate and knowledgeable of myself and have that inner confidence that I can't give her and she can't give me.
Yes, yes,
it's got to be self. I can't get Melissa out of her own mind. She can't get me out of my own mind.
No,
I have to do my, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I was taught that or ever thought that in regards to marriage, how much of our sexuality is personal. It seems like it should be all interconnected. And if we're not connected, but it seems like from what you're saying, if I'm not connected with myself,
then
even if we are connected as a couple, but if I ain't feeling my own self, then I have to do that own personal work.
Absolutely.
Do the work.
And there's nothing more not annoying, I shouldn't use that word, but nothing more frustrating than when you have a partner and say maybe once you had 3 orgasms at one time or someone else did, and so now they're trying to subject that on you, and so it's unrealistic expectations. There's a lot of unrealistic expectations when it comes to sex.
Yes.
And really, you got to kind of approach it without any expectations.
You just got to let it be what it is. I've had to do that because sometimes we have crazy great sex experiences. Yes.
We don't have to do any of that. Because,
but here, listen, I want to talk to you about something. Why do we feel, I feel people, not me, maybe me, other people could.
A friend, I am me, people. Why do people feel
we feel
me,
so personally responsible for that person's sexual experience? Well, like if you don't have an orgasm, then I failed. I usually go 3 flicks up with the tongue and then I go around. But I was off my game today. I went around first and I'm all, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And what you just said was important. Like it doesn't have to be anything more than what it is.
No, that's right. And as a matter of fact, it shouldn't be any more than what it is. That's way too much pressure on your partner for you to expect for them to, for him to explode and for her to explode all of the time, because that's not how it should go. And as a matter of fact, what we can do is talk a little bit about the brain chemistry of what even happens when you do have an eruption like that. So it's just not necessary. Sex is more about the experience, savoring it, looking forward to the next time. If so many people focus on right then and there, but if you overdo it and outstay your welcome and all of that today, well then she or he isn't really going to want to do it again for another month.
That's true.
So good.
It's weird to get out of it though. If you feel like it's not about to happen, then you're just like, all right, I'm gonna head out. You know what I mean? There's no unawkward way to be like, because you both know you're like, you know what? I just don't feel like today's my day. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out y'all way, man. I ain't gonna.
I want to talk really quickly about that. I think the expectation of orgasm, and I was telling Kevin this actually, that sex. Okay, before we get there, because I got so many things I want to say, I really quickly want to say that it is important to love yourself at the stage that you're in. But also, if you want to work towards a different outcome, then we have tools to do that as well, such as NOOM. NOOM is great because it helps you not only on the outside, but it helps you on the inside. It helps change your mentality. And when you feel better about yourself, if you feel better about yourself, you will treat yourself better. Mm-hmm. You will feel like you deserve to work out versus you deserve the cheeseburger.
True.
That's true. Say yes.
Yes. And also with NOOM, the thing I love is there's no such thing as a bad food. That I feel like even your health is so much of your mind. Yeah. Like you punish, I missed, especially for me. I make one mistake, eat one thing bad, I'm bad. Like I came in, Josh and Serena were in here last thing, and Greg was out of town. He was my trainer, and he'd be making me feel guilty. He was out of town, so I went to McDonald's. And I came in, and I saw Josh and Serena. I was like, you shut your mouth and don't you say anything about this. I'm eating this, and you shut up. They're like, all right. But it's because I'm like, I shouldn't be eating this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I know I shouldn't be doing this. but I like the
doing that
burritos.
mind-body alignment is like so key. I'm realizing to accomplishing so many things in your life. Plus, what's great about NOOM is that they also offer goal specialists and a community of members to keep you motivated and accountable at what it's like. And it's like a workout bestie all in one place, which is great. You always need that accountability partner to help keep you motivated. Kev needs one when Greg is out of town.
If Greg's out of town, I'm out of town.
NOOM, right, exactly. NOOM
You're
is
at home. Mind your business.
NOOM is really amazing because of the ease and convenience of the app. Another reason I love NOOM is that it encourages you. It doesn't shame you. It knows you are human.
That's cool.
NOOM is a habit-changing solution that helps users learn to develop a new relationship with food through personalized courses. NOOM is not a diet. It's a healthy and easy to stick to way of life. We are all strapped for time. NOOM makes it easy by committing to just 10 minutes a day, and you're going to do it for you because you deserve it. You don't have to change it all in one day. Small steps make big progress. Sign up for your trial today at Noom. That's NOOM.com/lovehour. What do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/lovehour to start your trial today. Again, that's Noom.com/lovehour. The last weight loss program you'll ever need.
I love it.
So you don't have to orgasm every time.
Yes.
No, as a
Sex
matter of
feels
fact.
good whether you come or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
I
ancient
eat
cultures
pizza.
really, they were onto something like that. You know, like when you think about ancient Chinese traditions or even some cultures that still exist, they savor their orgasm or their E experience.
Is that what they call it?
Well, I'll call it that for guys. And I know we got sponsors. So we'll call it the E experience and the O experience.
Got you.
Oh.
The EJ experience.
I was like,
Got
man,
it.
Yeah.
I was searching for words.
The explosion or the
Yeah.
eruption, whatever you want to call it, that a lot of cultures teach you to savor that and really only use it in special occasions and so on and so forth.
Oh, what?
And what we know about it, though, is that what happens is as soon as you have your EJ experience, what tends to happen is your dopamine levels actually plummet.
Yeah.
And so you kind of all of a sudden become very disinterested.
Refractory period?
Yeah. Well, we can call it a refractory
Yeah.
period, but really what it kind of is just like and we see it in lab rats, we see it in most mammal species, is if they have sex to the ultimate moment with their partner, and then they experience that moment, it takes like in lab rats, it'll take like 15 days before they're really craving it again with that partner in the same way.
Really?
And the anecdote to it, to getting them as excited as they were before that, is to reintroduce another female into the situation.
Now you
And
got
so-
rats cheating on each other?
Yes.
Master Splinter out there with
Yes.
somebody else, and you supposed to be raising them 4 little turtles by yourself, and you stepping out on Mistress Splinter.
Yes, so he can't even get as excited as he had been because he had that moment with that same female rat.
Okay, now
so
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna hold you. I want to hold you because I don't want Melissa getting no ideas, and I don't want myself getting no ideas. Your penis will still be hard though after.
This is the thing. So if you savor the experience and not necessarily race towards that, then you might decide you want to do it again. Everybody might decide they want to do it again tomorrow. Because what happens is that experience, what we know, as great as it is for that moment, is not necessarily building you up to want to do it again and again and again the next day and the next day. It actually subtracts from this. So you've done this, like you guys have gone out of town, right? And this happens to be a vacation where you guys just decide, well, let's just stay in the room and just do as much as we possibly can, right? But what happens at the end of it is you guys are a little more tired of each other than you should have been, because you're just kind of like, and what we know from that is what's happening in the brain is the dopamine levels, which fuels passion and excitement and, let's do this and let's connect, actually plummets all the way down so that it's just kind of like going to Maestro's every day for like 2 weeks. So the idea is that every now and then you just want to experience each other and have intimate moments without worrying about that part, because that part is the thing that makes it so that how come we haven't had sex in 3 weeks? That's why. Because what we've done is one of us has overstayed our welcome. So if you both are kind of on the same page and both are looking forward to it and both anticipating it, then it's not necessarily as much of a chore. And so what you should do is practice it. Try it and see if she wants to have sex more. Like,
Try not having sex?
yeah, no, try having sex more without necessarily going for the EJ.
I like it.
And I know you do.
I wanna have
I know
it.
you do, but see how it affects what happens with the two of you. Just try it. Try it for 2 weeks.
I
not
like
going
this
to.
idea
I
because
don't want that. I'm gonna take your advice into
Do it.
consideration when I do what I want to do, which is not that. I can't imagine, because that would be sleep like I cannot, but I'm still strong.
But you're looking forward to the moment tomorrow morning, maybe when she's
And it builds that anticipation.
It builds that
I get that.
anticipation.
I don't.
So you tease a little bit more. Tease a little bit more.
Don't you tease.
Tease throughout the day a little more.
So
You know,
she's
draw
all
it
in
out.
on this.
Yes.
Take a
So
break.
one thing that I can attest to, when I have an extended road trip, or I don't see Melissa because of work for 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is, when we do finally get back together,
Yes.
it'd be like, I missed you so much. Like, not only the sex, but especially the sex, it'd be so much more stronger.
Sure.
Because it's like, I feel like if you do really actually take some time, you are allowed to miss each other. Another thing, maybe I didn't even think about this list. Now, over the last, closing in on a year, we've worked much more closely together. So we haven't even had like, you go to work, I go to work. We are in the same house for the most part, or on the road together. So it's like, it's both very comforting, but there's not a chance to miss each other as much. So does that affect our sex life?
Oh, it totally does. Like, if you notice, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they go on tour together now, and they do, they try to do, and
'Cause
that's
he
probably
might
because
cheat if
she's
he-
trying to keep him from cheating.
Is he like, you were away from me. Becky, where are you?
Right. But the flip side of that is that what we want with our dopamine levels to go up is we want mystery, we want anticipation, we want to look forward to it, we want to miss it, and so if you never apart from your person, then you never get a chance to feel that, and so it kind of dampens the passion a little bit. So what's nice about when you're traveling and when you're gone and you guys get back together and you guys trust each other and you know that there's no there's none of that there, is that, you get the chance to kind of flirt through text messages.
Yeah.
You get a chance to build on that.
And they better be strong
talk
when you
about
come
it.
back, because otherwise you've been cheating.
let me tell you why all of this makes so much sense to me in this moment is because I'm starting to think about when you are kids and you're dating, when you're newly together, and you're able to not only, it becomes anticipation, and that anticipation becomes desire.
Yes.
And so when you're constantly, and something is constantly,
Doughboy, probably. Oh, sorry, Sharice. Come on in, y'all. We rolling.
Hey,
Hello.
y'all. Hello.
yes. These are our friends.
Hey, friends.
Girl, we can hear you. We still rolling on this side.
Oh, what at the? Oh,
Hey, Greg, how's your mama bitch? You all right? How's the baby?
She goes, now y'all don't drag us in here.
One of the things that happens when you are no, that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is desire is often brought about by the absence.
Yes.
And so when something is constantly available to you, you don't have an opportunity to like build that desire, build that anticipation. Yes. And so it correlates to that dopamine levels. Like I'm having like a full revelation here. And so I understand like the tease, because that's what, again, teasing is like, you go up, you plateau, you go up, you go down, you go, and eventually you get to your point where you're like, okay, I'm done, I need it now.
Yes.
That's that desire.
Yes.
I'm hitting on
I just got it.
You just got it.
I'm going back on tour right
Which is
now.
why, like, like even people talk about catfish. How can you get catfish? How can people fall in love with people they don't see? It's the mystery. It's the absence. It's the
something you
filling in
secretly
the
desire.
blanks. Yes, absolutely.
I got
And then
it.
it becomes even more passionate than it was before. And actually, I did a YouTube on dopamine and passion and desire, so we can drop it in the comments below.
Oh, yeah, in the description box below.
That was so good.
Oh, check it out.
Kev, did you have anything else?
Yes, I want to have sex with you, but also not have sex with you for a long time, so I can have the harder sex. Do I want you? Do I not? I don't know. Find out next time on
And you know what's funny?
Dragon Sex Z.
That's so funny. What's funny is that I'm also getting this revelation that I'm going to stop. Yes. You are almost talking about the difference between, I just read this book by Emily Nagoski called Come As You Are, and she talks about the difference between desire and arousal.
Yes.
And that's kind of what you're talking about, especially when we were talking about for women that it's a little bit harder to get there and get your mind there. But if you have the desire, it's so much easier. I mean, you can use like lube and a lot of other stuff to get your body to like follow.
Lube's
but
good.
You need your mind to be like, I want this.
But also, if you don't have that, lube will make sure.
No,
you
but
have
desire
enjoyable.
is different. Desire is your mind.
But lube is okay, and also scientifically, sometimes where your hormones, where you are in your cycle, even if you have desire, lube can be there. All I'm saying,
such an expert on stuff that he don't know nothing about.
Yeah, it's a toss up
Stay
off the
over there,
backboard. You catch it?
Liquid gold.
Liquid
You know,
gold.
everybody should
Only
have good.
behind breast milk, though.
Okay, that's right.
I tasted breast milk one time.
Breast milk is liquid gold.
It was nice.
That's right.
It was
That's
sweet.
liquid platinum.
Yes,
we'll give
okay,
it
we
platinum
give-
status,
yeah, we'll give it
right?
platinum.
That's vibranium, adamantium.
I think that this was like so good and like really.
How do you make women squirt? Is that everybody can squirt or some people can't?
Well, now, if you're a lady who's never had an orgasm before, it's going to take a little bit more for you to squirt. I won't say you'll never do it, but, you know, the chances are less likely. But what happens when someone is squirting is actually the periurethral glands.
Oh, that periurethra.
Which are, yes, they are on the sides of the urethra.
I was going to say peri meaning around or about.
Yes, exactly, right? Flanking the sides
Okay.
of it. As a lady is stimulated on the roof of her vagina, so like kind of if she's on her back and you were going in curled up to the top.
Is that where the G spot is? Right behind that corridor?
Yes, that is the area.
You got to go in and I saw a video on it.
Yes, and if you're penetrating and stroking in that direction, what that does is it causes the periurethral glands to fill up with fluid, and then when there's the orgasmic experience, now
Everything
it's
gotta go.
propulsing.
What is in that
So
fluid?
I was about to say, so is it pee or not? That's what everybody wants to know.
You know, so the periurethral glands are right next to the urethra, so there's always going to be a little bit of pee in there. So it might have a little pee smell, but it's not pee.
Got you.
It is it's more of like protein and sugar,
like vaginal fluid.
Sure.
It ain't necessarily pee, but it's around.
It's gonna have
It's
a
like the
little tint.
LaCroix of pee. It ain't really pee. It's just a hint. It's just a hint of pee. It ain't really pee. It's like a dash of it. If like pee just blew around there. So like, hey, you smell like little pee. It's just a dash.
Because as you're stimulating on the roof, the bladder is right above where you're stimulating too.
So it's a whole. They're
it's
gonna
sharing
rooms in there.
Yeah, you're gonna have a
dormitory.
little leakage there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You see what it tastes like. Also, so the G spot. So here's the vulva.
yes.
Okay. Now
You've been using this word
Vulva.
almost every week since
Yes.
you know this vulva.
Yes. So the vulva's here.
Yes.
You got the labia majora minora.
Yes.
Come on here.
Clitoral hood.
Yeah.
You gotta be up on that.
Yes, but you got to also realize that that's just a little small section of the clitoris.
Yeah.
The clitoris actually extends into
right.
the walls.
It
of the
almost
vagina.
looks
It's
like a
almost
wishbone.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
yes.
It's about a 3-inch long structure.
Right.
you
So
know.
that's why you touch the sides and be like, oh, I like the sides.
Right. Well, and that's why the roof is so sensitive, is because the fibers of the clitoris is kind of what makes up that G spot area. Is because
So it's not
those
like
are clitoral fibers.
It's
in
more
there.
of a. How do I say this? It's not like a thing you could touch. Like not.
It's not a spot.
It's not a. It's more like
more
an
like an
area where
area.
all things work together for the good.
Yes, that
Okay.
extends into the walls. That's why, you know, when you're a kid and even when you're dancing, kind of grinding on each other now, why that area feels so nice just to have pressure on
Like the
that.
mons pubis.
Yes, because
Yeah.
the clitoral fibers kind of extend.
Okay, because in the
So
video I
that's
was watching, it was
much.
like it's like very specific. Like you got to go under here and then pull back and do that. But if you don't know, that feels weird.
Yeah, and everybody's system is a little different. So the best thing is to kind of get
Oh.
to know where your own partner's is or where your own is, and so you can practice and find your
Some
own.
people got the
and you're
PS4, other people got
practicing and
Xbox,
finding
but the
yours.
system still play the same game. Could have PS1. That's the thing about sex that people really underestimate. It is personal.
It is personal.
So
even if you were like
Everybody
great
That's
does.
part
with
of the
this
reason I hate
person.
videos
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Even the instructional ones, because
That's your vulva, man.
Yeah,
you don't know
that's
mine.
right.
and
That's
that's
right.
the
You don't know
empowering
Nan-
piece that I feel like women have to be informed about. it's a 3-inch structure. This is what it looks like. Now go
find your own way.
Yes.
Get your own yellow brick road.
Absolutely. It's very
Any
specific.
other questions, Kevin, since we're in sex ed right now?
When you lick that little part between the butt and the vagina, you know, that little area,
Yeah.
that feels good, huh?
Yes, that does for both men and women.
Oh, let me tell you what.
Yes.
We're about to
I
be done.
love that little part.
Yes.
Listen, I'll be like,
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for
you
joining
know
us.
when the
spot
pilot
of the
pressed the
prostate,
ejection button? Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be
So
like,
that's cute. This is so much fun. You guys
listen,
are great.
men, I'm gonna tell you what. This for the men in the love hour. Men always feel a way about liking what they like because we always feel like it ain't manly.
Yeah.
There's so much stigma about that you feel like this is probably the one incongruence I can agree to, Liz. Feeling something good in your body, but feeling like as a man I should not like that.
I love
so then
that
you
you've
tell
said
yourself
that.
you don't like that, but you do.
Yeah.
Then you just be like, I want to do that, but I ain't no mark, huh?
Right.
But I do like when she do that. It's like tickling, not my booty, but near the booty.
And you know what? You'll be surprised at how much infidelity that one piece causes because
that piece of your body?
No, he's afraid to tell
that
his
part.
wife
Right,
what
so
he
you
really
can-
wants, and so this other
That was
person is
good.
super easy.
Because
and
you're a
so
stranger,
you're a stranger. I don't even know you, or that's just what you do, and so it doesn't
That
even
makes
give
sense.
her the potential or the ability to even know.
There's no
like, how would
judgment.
I have known? Yeah, that you even wanted that if you never said it. So it's
that was
great,
good.
man. This was fun.
Thank
y'all.
you.
One thing I really want to work on is I feel like you got to switch it up. I don't want to make you just oral sex is great. I like it. It's very high on my list of things to do.
To do or to receive?
More to do.
To do, yes.
I be
great.
feeling like the man.
Yes. yes,
When
yes.
when I do great and Melissa be like, whoa, I be like, you could tell everybody. You could tell everybody. But listen, one thing I want to understand is how I feel like, especially when you're together for a long time,
Yes.
this is the one thing that I
You better have a real question.
no, I do. It is a real question. One thing that you have to do is you have to. I feel like, and maybe you don't, but I feel like you have to find different ways to bring that situation to fruition, other than the same thing. Because otherwise, you feel like, okay, I can only make you finish this way, or maybe this is me retraining myself that you don't always have to orgasm.
Right.
But I be feeling like, man, maybe I don't want it to always be the same thing, like the only thing. I be feeling like I only have one tool in my tool belt.
You feel like you've got one trick.
I only got a one trick pony. Now that trick works
Right.
all the time, but if it don't work, you got to have to flip it up. You know, you got to be able to switch it up.
Well, too, what you want to think about is not to give yourself a hard time about it, because as you know, gentlemen, like say you like adult movies, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna always fast forward to your part.
Yeah, they don't
Right,
know.
'cause
Y'all
that's your
can't
part.
act. Get to this.
Yeah, that's your part.
Hey,
so
I
everybody
know
has a
that
part.
you need to have certain help on your plumbing equipment abilities. I will do it for you. Be like, it's the first time y'all ever spoken English? I don't watch those movies. I'm saved. But before I was saved, I'd be like, y'all can't even talk? I need help in the ability of this pipe. It is not working. Do 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 do. People
got the
can't be good at two things. You can act or
We
you
have
can
a
do the
full
sex.
audience in here right now. And
can't.
this is why Kevin is
I'm on
performing.
stage now. It's a small club.
Is
But I gotta
definitely
put a show on.
stage.
But I forgot my initial question.
Because you didn't have one.
But yeah.
Oh,
so,
one trick about having one trick.
So don't be so hard on yourself, because too, the fact that you only think that you have one trick means that you're a little too focused on trying to make her have an orgasm.
Yeah,
right?
I
So
for sure am.
If you go forth now without that thought process, you'd be surprised what she'll be able to do without you putting the pressure on her to be able to have those orgasmic
You
moments off of
forcing
that.
it.
Yeah, so just let it go.
Just let it
Yeah,
be. I
let
feel
it
like
go.
forcing it in anything is wrong. Forcing comedy is wrong.
Yeah.
Forcing orgasms wrong.
That's right.
Let
Can we
it
force
just
the
let
end
it
of this
go.
podcast?
Let it go.
That's
She'll have a better chance of getting her O. Let it. All right, we gotta
That
stop. I'll do this
rhymes.
for 2
That
hours.
rhymes.
I have a new
We
special.
have.
Called the Love Hour.
I'm pretty sure this is over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
No?
You're push.
Hour 15.
Yeah,
really?
you always rushing.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Anything
present
else?
in the
You have
moment.
no other questions. Dr. Rachael.
Man, you guys have been so much fun. Thank you for having me. I've been dying to get up here with you guys and hang out
so
and
excited.
talk shop.
Yes.
So this is really cool.
Tell the people how to meet, follow you and your upcoming book.
Yes. So you can follow me at Instagram at Dr. Rachael, DrRachael.
AEL, people.
It's always that. You can check me out at DrRachaelInstitute.com, spelled the same way, just add Institute. And I've got a book that's coming out within the next 4 weeks. It's actually called Getting Some Brain, and it is about how to
you don't have to sugarcoat yourself, Dr. Rachael.
Kevin's here. You do,
how to fall passionately in love and stay there.
I thought it was about getting head.
Well, it talks about that, of course. But it talks about too the ways that we can kind of manipulate our relationships a little bit based off of science and how things work to enjoy each other a little more, to infuse like a little bit of mystery and anticipation and stuff so that it doesn't get stale. Because if we're in it for forever, we want to stay there and you want to make sure that it stays spiced.
We get that question all the time too about spicing it up. I feel like that's people's biggest fear.
We should have you back and talk about just about that after your book comes out.
Awesome. I would love that.
Because that's the number one question is like, how do we continue to keep it spicy after we've been married for X period of time?
I feel like even people are early in their marriage, they're afraid of it happening, and people who are there, it's like that is their biggest fear.
Oh, totally. And that's as a sexologist, and I train sexuality coaches and other sexologists, and that's the number one reason people seek us out, is to try to infuse passion and romance back into things. It's like, where did it go? We used to feel this way about each other. How can we get that back? And that's really what the book is about.
That's
is how
awesome.
to keep it and get it back. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Rachael, for being with us today.
Me.
We have had a phenomenal time with you. Great laughs, great conversation and chat. I learned a whole bunch of stuff, and Kev did too, which is great. So thank you guys again so much for joining us today on today's episode of The Love Hour with Dr. Rachael. Make sure that you follow her. Make sure that you support our sponsors. As always, the podcast is free to you, but it is ad supported. So when you support our sponsors, you are supporting the podcast. Do not forget that the Love Hour Conference is coming in Atlanta, Georgia, July 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2020. Singles, I hear you. I'm working on some things for you. We will be re-releasing soon. Child, just know that it's real soon. And I think that's it.
Do your Kegels and drink your water.
Do your Kegels. Be mindful.
Yes.
Slow down.
That's right.
Take a moment. Breathe in. Let the moment pass. All the things that we did.
Walk around naked.
Walk around naked.
Walk around naked.
All the things. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. Fire on you. Bow, bow.